When I was a kid, I loved the idea of creating things. In 3rd grade, I tried to build a robot out of an old tennis racket and a Fisher-Price stereo. I smashed that thing to shit in my basement with a hammer. I had all the pieces. I tried to lay it out. I just couldn't get that fucking thing to work. And then in 7th grade, my best friend Tom and I, we started this band that would only lip sync the Wedding Singer soundtrack. We loved that movie. We had cardboard cutouts of guitars. We had this old shitty keyboard that it didn't work, but it didn't matter. We were there to lip sync and entertain the masses, We called ourselves the Concepts. We even went as far as making a t-shirt with our light bulb logo on it. We thought, this is it. This is what we're going to do. Needless to say, that didn't last too long. After that, we had an idea. Maybe we were going to be newspaper comic illustrators. Like 3-panel Ziggy comics or Garfields. Our character was called Action Man. He was essentially a stick figure with googly eyes. Our biggest hit with that was Action Man Steps on Rake, which was essentially 3 close-ups of his face, and then eventually him stepping on a rake and grumbling, just like Sideshow Bob, because we're oh so original. We thought maybe if we could just make it into the Spectator, that shit was gonna go national. Maybe break the border down south, we'd have it made, man. Needless to say, that also didn't last too long. We had a few bands over the years. We were heavily into classic rock. We started a band, Red Confidential. We so badly wanted to be AC/DC, and not for the good reasons. We were just dorks about guitar and rock and roll. We didn't care about the money or the women. Again, that didn't work. Then we had another band, more of a punk thing, called Good Goddamn. The point is, nothing ever worked. We inevitably failed at everything we've ever tried. So with that in mind, what's the next logical step? Start a podcast. You're listening to Hamiltoe. Yeah, we'll just fuck around. But do you remember when we were kids and we were trying to make? I remember it was like grade 9 or something, and I was being taught how to make like a pop bottle rocket where you put water in it.
Yeah.
And then you pump it full of air, and eventually the pressure shoots off. I vaguely remember us trying to do that, but I think we were trying to hook up a propane tank instead of air. Do you remember this?
Yeah. We were in your parents' garden shed, looking for supplies.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, what will cause this rocket to go into the air?
Right, and we didn't have an air compressor.
No, because that'd be too easy.
Right.
So, yeah, there was a can of propane. So we tried to hook up this bottle rocket to this propane.
Right.
And luckily, we never could figure out how to get the connections correct.
Right. Probably because we were in grade 9 and had no concept of what might happen. Well, you would think in grade 9 maybe you should know not to hook propane up to something.
Yeah, but you lived under power lines.
Right. So, okay.
I have no excuse, but I'm giving you one.
Right. Well, I grew up East End.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Definitely the power lines. But yeah, luckily we never did get it hooked up, and because eventually we just gave up. We're like, you know what? Fuck it. It's not worth it. This is way too much trouble. That's what it was. It wasn't the safety. It was the us being lazy, too lazy to figure out how to make it work. So we just gave up.
Yeah, it was like we tried for at least a half an hour, I think.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
But time goes at a different speed when you're in grade 9.
Yeah, no kidding.
I guess.
Man, that was dumb. I'm glad we didn't get that going. But yeah, I don't know. Do you remember? I was saying in the opening monologue there, like the concept band too, the wedding singer lip syncing thing.
Yeah, and I hate that I know this, but we also did Limp Bizkit.
Ah, did we?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Fuck. Yeah, I guess that would have been when, high school. That would have been around the time Limp Bizkit came out. In my basement. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
And we did the like you mentioned, the cardboard or plywood cutout, painted like a guitar.
Yeah.
We wanted to be in a band, but we didn't have anything that a band requires.
Right.
Talent, instruments. So we made our own instruments, and then just lip synced other people's talent. Well, okay, Limp Bizkit wasn't talent. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just shitty songs that we liked at the time.
Yeah, I feel like that's been pretty much the history of our relationship is we don't know what we're doing. I feel like we're always on the outskirts of what is cool at the time. Like, I don't feel like I have my finger on the pulse of what's going on, like, especially in high school. I think I'm going to speak for you too, but I feel like we're in a different world.
Yeah.
Like, we were never in with what was popular at the time. We just kind of
No, you know what, though? I tried that in middle school.
Oh, right. You went through, like, that rap phase.
That's right. I had all of Eminem's CDs.
Oh, dude. I remember I couldn't even get on board with that. And I'm a follower.
Yeah. No, but I think I learned my lesson, and then I figured, you know what's cool and that is shitty.
Yeah.
So then I just started liking what was cool 30 years ago, because that's, I guess, less shitty.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember because you found Kiss and AC/DC and Led Zeppelin and The Who.
Yeah.
And then you showed me, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Because I didn't grow up in a household, really, with music other than what was playing on, like, Oldies 1150 at the time.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, that blew my mind. But, yeah, I mean, I got you to burn me a whole bunch of those old CDs, and classic rock was really, like, the thing that kind of, I think, like, solidified the friendship and gave us something to do.
Yeah, that was pretty much the start of us just any sort of creativity, I guess. Trying to just do something with our hours and hours and hours of spare time. You know, when other kids were out playing hockey or
Right.
gaining world experience, you know, we were in our basement making cardboard guitars.
Yeah, that seems about right. And I mean, well, actually, that's kind of to our benefit, because then eventually we got into a few bands, and then that's where we met today's guest, actually, Polish Mike, right?
Polish Mike.
Yeah, I feel such guilt because I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce his last name, and I feel like I've known this guy for long enough that I should know, and now it's at that awkward stage of like, how do I get him to say it without me coming out and asking him? Maybe I should just ask him.
We should probably just ask him.
Because then I, stop butchering his last name. I want to say it's Machowski.
That seems right. It seems like that could be a thing.
Yeah, I feel so bad to every other person of Polish descent right now because I'm probably butchering that. But so we have him on the show today. We knew him as a bass player in multiple bands back when we were playing. What was he in? He was in Metal Llama with Joe Towers.
I think so.
Yeah, and then he was briefly in a band that we had, which shall remain nameless because it's awful. But yeah, so lately he's been writing his own songs for the past, I don't even know how long. I haven't talked to him about this.
We'll bring it up when he gets here.
Yeah, and he's got a new album out. Oh, that's cool. Well, yeah, we'll talk to him. But before we get to that, we should probably play. We have a sponsor. It's a new place that opened up, I guess, and they gave us a commercial to play. So we should play that, right?
Yeah, let's do the commercial and then we'll get into it.
All right, cool.
West Hamilton Stereo. West Hamilton Stereo.
Hi folks, John Wilkinson here from West Hamilton Stereo, where we've got all the latest and greatest products for your audio needs. And hey, we all know vinyl's making a comeback, so we went one step further to provide you with the next generation of inconvenient audio listening systems. We have a great selection of mechanical cylinder phonographs and the most popular wax cylinders, featuring artists like Zeke Bailey, Jack Norworth, and Albert Von Tilzer, and who could forget Billy Murray?
We will dance the hoochie coochie. I will be your tootsie wootsie if you will meet me in St. Louis, Louis.
And if you order online now, you could have your purchases delivered almost immediately with our new drone delivery service free of charge. So come on down to West Hamilton Stereo and get all of your ear holes filled.
West Hamilton Stereo. West Hamilton Stereo.
So I just realized we completely forgot to introduce ourselves.
Yes, we did.
So This is the Hamiltoe Podcast, episode 1.
February 2016.
Yes.
We'll do one a month.
Let's hope.
We're going to aim for one a month.
So, I'm Tom.
Scott,
Tom and Scott from Hamiltoe Podcast.
if you haven't got that already, we're going to aim to do one a month.
It's a podcast.
Yeah, we do one a month.
So why don't you go ahead and tell everyone why and what we're doing here?
All right. Hamiltoe Podcast. The idea here is we're gonna talk to people in the arts and cultural scene, just so we can understand more of what's going on, because we want to crack into that. We want to know. We want to be on the pulse of what's happening in Hamilton and the surrounding areas, but not so much Toronto, because they don't need any help whatsoever. And to be honest, I don't care.
No, I can't say I do either.
There you go. I mean, if there's any listeners out there, yeah, we like you guys as people, but I don't want to come to your city. So,
Well, luckily our first guest is from Hamilton.
fantastic.
That's right. Keep this local.
That's right. Yeah, Polish Mike. We talked to him. He's got a lot of new things going on right now. We have a bit of a history with him. He goes back a bit. But yeah, we talked to him about a lot of things, and this is what we got.
Futon really adds to the credibility of this thing.
Nothing screams podcast like futon, right? I get the Value Village couch.
Alright, we're wasting valuable material here.
Don't worry, we've been recording already.
Are we?
Yeah, you're already going.
Snap.
You can move that anywhere you feel comfortable.
My face.
Yeah. How was the drive in?
It was good. It was
Do we-
short.
Yeah. Where are you living nowadays?
Hamilton, downtown still.
Yeah. Still down by the Corktown area?
No, like more east of that
Oh, okay.
a little bit. Just keep inviting you guys to my parties, but you don't come.
Yeah, no, we don't do much of anything.
That's cool.
No, this is about it. This is as far as we got. We don't leave the house. We just do other stupid things in the house.
Am I close enough to this thing?
I think so. Tom might need to get a little closer to his.
Test.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good.
That's
But
cool.
I moved up for it. Now if I recline, am I not good?
I think you're still good. You just might not be as loud as I am.
Okay.
Yeah,
there
see, we
go.
have controls.
Perfect.
We just don't have another set of headphones.
I could have brought some.
I know, we should have asked you. I brought some yesterday, but the cord, there is no cord for them, so they are essentially a paperweight in the shape of headphones. But
That's what Dr. Dre originally intended. He's like, these will be very expensive paperweights.
right. But they work to hold paper down and everything else.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what have you been up to lately?
Teaching music and playing music.
Right on.
Those are the two things I do.
Yeah.
And playing with Zero Fire. That's my metal band that I play bass for. And
Oh, okay.
FUNYBOHT, which is my baby.
Yeah. Well, I saw a couple posts for the Zero Fire thing. I didn't know you played bass for them. I just
Yeah.
thought you were like pals with them. This is how like with it I am, because I'm just like, I can't look too far into these things because I'll have nothing to talk about.
And that's why you started the podcast, so you're like, I'm out of touch with the Hamilton scene, so I'm going to make everyone come in. And
How right you are. I think that's pretty much exactly why we're doing this, because we're too lazy to actually go out and discover this shit, and we're like, we'll just invite everything to our basement and we'll see how it goes.
I like it. I think it's a great idea.
So what okay, well, Zero Fire you're playing bass for, and that's like what type of metal, because there's a few different kinds, right? So
Yeah, I'd say it's like... It's like
that was just the futon clicking under Mike, because we are fancy here, so
Would you prefer the armchair?
it's mustard colored.
It's up to you.
So if you're eating any mustard, You can spill it on that chair.
I'm safe.
All right.
The futon was only a suggestion, so it's up to you. Like if you want to sit there instead.
I'm good.
Alright.
I'm becoming more. What's the word? More set up here as I go.
Yeah.
You got a thermos, a sandwich.
I don't know why you brought your sleeping bag, but
Is this not that kind of podcast?
maybe it could be. This is only episode 1. Who knows where it's gonna go?
Like, you don't know how much material we're gonna have to get before, to edit together like 10 solid minutes of entertaining
Extreme
material.
hard cuts, going in and out of sentences, and we'll have to piece words together.
Yeah.
I think 10 minutes is a pretty. You're reaching for the stars there. Solid. I'm just looking to get enough for like a teaser.
Teaser.
This whole thing is going to be a commercial for the podcast.
We're just
So anyway-
gonna find out the mics were never plugged in. But yeah, genre of metal
Yeah.
that Zero Fire would be it's got like a big kind of simple wall of sound philosophy to it. Everything's just big notes, fat riffs. It's all kind of
Is it speedy,
no, it's the opposite of that.
slow,
They're-
sludgy metal?
Sort of. Everyone has this desire to just make really loud, drop-tuned noise, but it's all wrapped around Graham King's angelic vocals and just kind of riffy writing style. So
Riffs are good.
exactly, riffs. That's our motto, riffs. Just
That's the motto. One word.
riffs. We riff tonight. We just use that word as much as possible, just to remind ourselves that the riffs is what it's all about.
Yeah. It's bigger than you guys as individuals. It's about riffs.
Yeah, it is. Exactly.
That's cool.
Fuck, I don't know.
This is going well.
It's like we
think
should have
it
had a
is.
better plan for this.
No.
We wrote
We're-
down, yeah, like
We're
we
working
got-
out the kinks, man.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
That's
and, like-
episode 1.
Yeah. You're the guinea pig.
Yeah.
It'll sound awful with you. And then we'll work our way up to, semi-decent by the end of this.
There we go.
This is what I'm hoping.
a little less horrible.
Yeah.
Are you playing music on it, or
Are we playing like on the show?
are you gonna be like, and here's a band with the song they recorded a while ago, or is it all live?
No.
Well, this is like, we figured we'd get you to play later on, right? We're going to play one of your songs at some point so people can check out this FUNYBOHT, right?
FUNYBOHT.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, as far as future stuff goes, we're just kind of play it by ear. Like the whole idea is to get musicians and artists in here and showcase some of what they can do and just generally shoot the shit, right? Just to I don't know. I just want to like expose Hamilton to more of what Hamilton has to offer, because I feel like a grand number of us, including us, because we're lazy fucks, don't necessarily go out to the stuff that they should be going out to. And this is our way of like negating that whole thing. Like we're just like, these guys are awful because they don't do anything. We're doing something. Like, it involves futons.
You're like, I can't afford to come out to the shows because I spent all my money on the recording equipment, but I'll use the recording equipment to let people know about the people playing the shows.
Yes.
It's a good philosophy.
That's
and
why we're getting you to play live here, because we couldn't afford to go to your new show.
Right.
so.
You came out to my show,
And you got me the
Corktown.
discount price. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been there.
That's true. There were the tickets. I made tickets. I'm very into arts and crafts lately because that's what you do when you're underemployed.
Is underemployed the new term?
Yeah, it's when you work, but you're not working enough or for enough money.
Gotcha. I've never heard that. I like it.
Underemployed?
Yeah.
Where did you play your first show?
The CD release show was at the Corktown, and that was kind of the unveiling of FUNYBOHT, which is kind of the name of the collective that plays the music. So whoever I've decided that like from that point on, now when I play, it's gonna be FUNYBOHT. Whereas there was a placeholder title which was just Michael AM, and that was just kind of figuring this whole thing out. I'd never sang in front of audiences before, and I've always played guitar, but I've just performed as a bass player, so I didn't want to just kind of burst out of the gates and be like, here's my band, I don't know what I'm doing yet. And then people will remember that name and they're like, oh, let's not see that again. But then once I worked all the kinks out, I'd say the first show of this incarnation of the band, I think, happened at the Doors last September. And that's when, not just the people who had kind of like watched it come together.
Right.
They were like while I was kind of learning to do this, were like, this is finally what I knew it was going to be. I'd seen you play before, and I've heard the stuff, but I can tell that this is what you had in your head all along.
Nice.
And yeah, I guess January is when we launched the whole thing.
So when did you actually like start writing songs? Like, again, you were in other bands. Bass players don't usually. I mean, they can. I'm not saying they can't, but I don't know many bass players that write the songs.
John Deacon wrote Another One Bites the Dust.
Oh,
the lyrics to it and the music. I guess.
Talentless
and
Freddie Mercury.
you can hear that 30 times a day on classic rock.
Oh,
That's what, you know what? That's funny. I was actually thinking about that today. My favorite thing about any classic rock radio station is that you could have been in a coma for like 12 years and you could have woken up and been like, what year is this? And it's like, oh, it's still 95. I'm good. I must have just passed out there for 20 minutes.
Oh, how weird was that though, seeing like, bands that you knew when you were young just turning into classic rock. They're just you're on 107.1 and you're just like, yeah, it smells like Teen Spirit.
Oh.
This used to mean something.
This had an identity to it.
What station is this?
No kidding.
So yeah, like when did you actually start writing your songs or attempting to songwrite?
I think I started writing songs like before I started playing guitar, and I didn't know what to do with them.
Just humming?
Yeah, I'd come up with lyrics primarily, and I listened to music, and then, my friend came to school with a guitar one day, and he was like, hey, I'm learning to play the guitar. And then he taught me like 2 riffs, and I was like, oh, I get this. And
it's like a bass with 2 more strings.
well, I didn't play bass then either. I
Oh,
played
okay.
guitar before I ever played bass. And so I started writing the songs, and in my first couple of bands that I played in high school, I was, just because I wanted everything to be happening, and the vocalists that I was working with they learned covers and they didn't really write.
Right.
So I started out writing songs and then kind of went on hiatus to play bass because out of necessity in my first band, we had 3 kids who played guitar.
Gotcha.
And I traded I won a PS2 in a raffle once, and my cousin had a bass guitar and I already had a PS2, and I was like, hey, I'll trade you this PS2 I just won for your bass. And he's like, my bass is a real piece of shit. I'd feel bad doing that to you. And I'm like, well, does it, like, what's wrong with it? Is like the pickup or is the jack? No. And he's like, it works. It's just a piece of shit. It's just, I wouldn't, like, if you want to trade, like, if you really want the bass, I'll do this because I do want that PS2. But if you want to trade back, I won't feel, don't feel bad about it. And so we did that, and I was like, I don't see what's wrong with this. And the strings were an inch off the fretboard. And so that's where I learned all my Primus shit. and then
Yeah, because that's actually what I mainly remember about you playing bass. Is it was a constant like slap bass, and I was wondering like, is that, I don't know, maybe your influences or whatever, but was it maybe it's just necessity because your bass was such a piece of shit? Is that what the key is?
maybe
All these
that was
years
the
later?
only way to make it sound good. You know what? I just wanted to. I felt like I was making up for lost time because my music foundation came from piano lessons that I took when I was a kid that I hated, and I got the gist of it from that, and I feel like if you start to play, if you're exposed to musical instruments as a kid, it builds a foundation whether you follow through with it or not. And just people who, you know, even some people have no rhythm, and it's something you learn, right? And it's if you grow up and you never, like, kids learn rhythm, or people learn rhythm through just trial and error and being exposed to it. And if that happens when you're young, that's just kind of in your DNA, and when you learn music,
Right.
it kind of goes from there. So
Because didn't you you took jazz or something at Mohawk,
yeah,
right?
great school, a great program, but what was I thinking?
What, are you not a professional jazz player now?
I'm gonna walk the bass for a living.
What are you doing, Mike? I'm just taking the bass for a walk. I'll be back.
Boom, 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 boom.
Mike's
Rolls in.
gesturing, throwing cash, I'm assuming, directly into a dumpster.
Oh, I meant this was before I threw the cash in the dumpster. This is me imagining walking the bass and people throwing the cash at me.
Yeah. And it went right past you into the gutter.
Oh my god.
So obviously, like, I guess being the front man now is like you said, something new to you, right? Like, what do you find challenging about that, or is it what you've always dreamt it would be? Like, how you feel about that?
I think on the one hand, it made me realize a little bit what a dick I was to, like, singers my whole life. Because as a guitar player, you get, like, you know, blisters and stuff, but really you can play the guitar for once you get your calluses up, like, up to 7 hours even in a day, and you're just like, a singer will be like, oh, can we wrap this practice up? You won't.
Oh,
you'll
your
be through-
throat's sore. Oh, poor baby. Oh, you're bleeding from your mouth.
Yeah, sputter. So now, like, I'll be that guy and be like, can we, like, wrap this up? Can we tune down half a step?
Fuck you, pussy. Keep singing, monkey.
I thought you had to be at least 65 before you start dropping your songs down.
Is it?
I don't know. That's just it's everyone's doing it now. All the old bands.
I like the sound that it gives the guitars, especially when there's distortion on them. It just makes it gross in a good way.
Like you said for your metal band, like our old band downtuned to, what was it, drop C?
Yeah, something like drop C sharp. It was basically down a half step and then drop the low string.
That's good, goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You should.
It was.
Yeah, where are those tapes at?
Oh, there's a whole box over there.
You mean the two that we gave away? The rest are up there.
This is my collection of failed projects. In a year from now, there's going to be discs of the podcast also up there.
I actually have a question. It's a little embarrassing, but I will ask you this because, like, I've known you for a while. We're not, like, best friends or anything, but...
Let's just make that clear.
Well, that's true. We don't keep in touch.
We
that
don't
much.
hang out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to sit here and
Yeah,
pretend
this
like...
is very forced.
I'll loosen your cuffs when you're done talking. But the pronunciation of your last name, like, I know what I think it is and what I've thought it was for years. But can you go on record and just like pronounce your last name?
If you want to be really Polish about it, it's Michael Miszkowski. And if you want to just do the Canadian way of doing it, you can just say Miszkowski.
Oh, we
And
were
that's-
bang on then.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I think a lot of people say Miskowski, and that one's...
I had Miss Mishkovsky.
Yeah, that's
Similar.
that's good,
It
yeah.
just doesn't have that emphasis on it.
Show notes has
Alright.
the same problem.
Yeah, exactly. And it's weird to do it too, to just for one word switch to an accent, because that's the...
Oh man, the worst is like the Food Network when they're cooking spaghetti and they're like, "Oh, and what you're gonna need to do is put the spaghetti in the pot."
Spaghetti.
They switch to the Italian accent for like the one Parmigiano Reggiano or like whatever the fuck it is. I'm not even gonna
This
attempt it.
prosciutto sandwich.
Yeah.
I can't do the accent properly. I think I just launched into Russian there by accident. But
Well, I'm sure they make prosciutto sandwiches too. So there's a Russian guy somewhere making a prosciutto
is
sandwich.
prosciutto just smoked meat? Is that?
I think so.
I honestly
It's
have no
cured.
idea.
It's cured.
So where did you find, like, how did you put the band together? Like, were these people you went to school with, or?
It's kind of interesting because who's on the recording is my friend Brendan Whelan from high school, who actually kind of showed me the ropes of playing the bass way back when, and was in like the cool high school band. And Mike Cotton, who's a session drummer from Hamilton, who's currently living in England.
What?
So how did you record on the album from England?
Well, Brendan moved to Montreal and Cotton moved to England shortly after the recording of the album, so we kind of we had to get all the tracking done in a short period of time. And
In England, do drummers have to play left-handed?
On the wrong side of the kit?
Yeah.
it's not on the other hemisphere, or I guess because the roads.
That's what I was
Okay,
more
thought
getting at.
You were thinking with like gravity and switching their grips,
Everything's upside down
like in
there.
Australia.
They hover above the kit.
I mean, regardless of what you meant, what you said was stupid.
Yeah.
No, but I do think he has to play open-handed over there, unless he convinced them he's left-handed. Then he's allowed to.
Then he's allowed.
So you guys
Yeah.
all got together before he moved, and obviously everything worked out. You got it done.
Yeah, it happened, and then it kind of allows the thing to exist tangibly. And there's a CD that can be sold, and people can get to know the songs, and then it. My friend Vince from Zero Fire, he's the guitar player in Zero Fire. He plays bass for me in FUNYBOHT.
Okay.
And our friend Scott, who plays for The Vibes right now and used to be the lead singer, guitarist in a band called Gentlemen Spectres. I guess I caught him between bands. So
What's he play in your band?
he plays lead guitar and backup vocals.
Okay.
So on the album, I did all the leads, but I didn't really want to do them live that much.
Right.
I'll still take a couple solos now and then, but like, I think to be an effective guitar player in the kind of music that I wanted the band to be, it's you need to have kind of effects and stuff, whereas I like to kind of dial in a sound for each song.
Okay.
Individually, whereas Scott's good at the whole tap dancing thing and doing, leads not only when a guitar solo happens, but kind of to accompany
Nice.
the
yeah.
vocal lines. And
Plus, you don't want to take like all the spotlight if you're like singing and then you start shredding solos. Like,
yeah, it's just like, oh, I'm so cool.
keep the other guys behind a curtain.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of noise coming out of that one guy. He's good. No, that's cool. I was actually because when I first saw the FUNYBOHT like Facebook post that you guys did, I was again pronunciation. I was like, how the fuck? What is that? Because you got the umlauts in there. There's an H, a silent H.
Bot. FUNYBOHT.
Is that a Polish thing?
Sort of. I don't think there's umlauts in any Polish words, but it's kind of just a nod to how my grandma would say that. She would actually refer to, at Hamilton Harbor, there's that big tugboat playground thing.
Yeah, I used to love that when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
totally. And that's my grandma called it the funny boat,
Ah.
because she had like a thick Polish accent. I wanted to give it a nod to that, and I figured the umlaut just aesthetically, I like the way it looks, and it's kind of a nod to the whole rock and roll tradition of unnecessary umlauts, like Motley Crue and Motorhead, and
There you
That's
go.
very true.
So there's meaning behind it, not like our stupid band names.
Yeah, I mean that's why we're interviewing him, and we started a podcast because
but what a podcast it is.
We didn't put any umlauts in our podcast name though.
oh shit, we gotta get on
Hamiltoe.
With
Missed,
the- with
missed
the-
opportunity.
with the umlauts over it.
The Hamiltoe Podcast. Love it. I love the copyright infringement on the new logo.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping.
I'm waiting for the email.
I think that you'll garner a lot of attention through the lawsuit that attracts.
It worked great for that Metallica tribute band.
Yeah.
I never heard of that tribute band until.
I mean, I'm not going to their shows, but
No.
I'm assuming as a result of getting sued by Metallica, other people are?
Yeah, I mean, at very least to go and mock them. Which, I mean, we're not above that. If that certain coffee company, Tim, figures out that we've borrowed their logo,
I just
then,
feel like we're not very good at coming up with our own logos. Because even with our old band, Good Goddamn, the original logo, like, just for now, it was just a total ripoff of the Pabst Blue Ribbon logo.
Yeah.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Are you hoping they're gonna send us free beer? Is that what you do?
I am hoping and would love it, yes.
Somebody from where's fucking Pabst Blue Ribbon from?
Chicago?
Yeah, this isn't going that
Somewhere-
far.
No.
This is not going that far.
Somewhere-
What's a local Hamilton beer that we can?
we can throw.
I don't even know.
I feel like I've drank a lot of them, but I haven't bothered to remember their names.
Mill Street Organic isn't from Hamilton. It's,
Nah.
You know what? We'll have our researchers look into it.
Yeah, Tammy, you look into that for us.
So yeah, we suck at logos and that. So that I don't know how long that'll stay there, but
I would like for that to stay, because
Yeah,
I lost my shit. when
Yeah?
I saw it. I thought that was so good. And I feel like they don't really use that logo anymore.
It's the
so-
retro one, man.
Yeah.
from when we were kids. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what's more fitting than a Hamilton-based podcast? What's the most Hamilton logo you can think of?
And that, yeah.
Right? That certain coffee company.
Huge international coffee company.
Yeah. Maybe Burger King will let us use it. Where did you guys? How did you decide on the album art for this thing? Because isn't it like a? I don't have a copy of it in front of me, but it's like looks all tropical or paradise-like or island-like.
Yeah, that's kind of the theme for the website. It might, once I do a bigger run of CDs, that'll probably become the album art.
now did you use copyright infringemented artwork?
Infringement.
No, all the photography for the website was taken by my girlfriend, sometimes myself, and edited by myself.
Oh, perfect.
So, and then the album covers are made from cardstock, and I cut them up myself and draw each one individually.
But that's fucking awesome, man. Like that whole DIY thing now, I feel like has become mainstream, but not in a bad way. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's fucking mainstream," but like it's
They're finally realizing, oh, I can just do that myself instead
Yeah,
of spending
it's-
thousands of dollars.
it's not a giant fucking mystery anymore. Like, how do I put out a record? I just fucking put out a record. That's how you do it.
Yeah, I just make it as people want to buy it. Right now, I have 10 CDs left of the batch I made.
Nice.
And once I sell those, I'll make some more CD covers. And if I don't sell them, I won't worry about it. I don't have to I don't have to order 4,000 of them, so the unit price will go down.
That's what we should have done.
No, the problem with ours was we did DIY our albums, but we just got too ambitious and made too many at once.
We're like, we'll easily sell like 3,000 of these. It'll be fine.
And thousands of dollars of printer ink later.
Are you guys going to tour? No, not a chance. Like, one show. This is it.
One show.
So,
We should probably listen to a song, I would think.
do you want to listen to one?
Do I want to listen to one of my songs? Yeah, sure.
I think we should. As you're getting the CD there, is there any specific song you want us to play?
What am I definitely not gonna play later?
Track 6 has always been a favorite of mine.
Okay, let's put that one on. Thanks.
Yeah, that sounds fucking sweet, man. I was trying to think too, like most of the time when people play something, you're like, oh, I can hear this band in it, or I can hear this band. I can't hear anything that I know of. There's no frame of reference, which is awesome. Like, I think that's I think that's
compliment I think I could get.
Although I do have a question. I was looking through these hand-drawn album covers while we were listening to that. And are these two abstractions of vaginas?
That one I think is upside down, and it's kind of like a seahorse if you flip it over.
This
like
way?
that, yeah.
Oh, I see it.
No, that even looks more like a vagina to me.
Yeah.
It looks like he was wearing a vagina hat.
See how this would be like the clit and the labias?
Oh, yeah.
See that?
It's got like an extra thing though that
I'm into it, whatever it is.
I'm turned
This
on.
one seems to have a lot of pubic hair. Is that just me, like, putting my own ideas into it?
I think that's kind of the purpose of abstraction, to kind of let people. I think that's a theme of the music itself, to not give enough to kind of give a definite, this is what this is. It means what you take from it, really.
Apparently-
So what I'm saying is, yeah, that's a vagina.
Good. I'm going to take these into the bathroom, and whatever you hear, do not open the door.
So,
Oh, fuck.
so what do you got for upcoming plans there, Mike? Any band plans?
I've got 2 shows coming up this month in Toronto.
What?
And it'll be the first foray into that neighborhood with this material. They're both happening at the same place. One is going to be a full band show, and one's going to be an all acoustic set, or at least solo set. And yeah, it's
Whereabouts?
called the Tiger Bar.
That's made up.
Yeah, it sounds like it, doesn't it?
That sounds like someone's basement.
It's the bottom. I guess there's a club called, or maybe it's a pub or something. It's called the Crown and Tiger, and then the bottom floor is the Tiger Bar, and that's where they have the live music and stuff. And I haven't been to it yet. I don't know. Is this gonna air before that happens?
When's that happening?
It's February 20th and 26th.
Yeah, this will definitely be up by
Yeah,
then.
cool. So,
Hey, look, our first official plug.
yeah,
We're changing lives down here, man.
totally. This show's gonna be bumping as a result of this
Exactly.
moment.
So, yep, 2 shows coming up. Anything else you wanted to talk about? Like,
Oh, there's another one in St. Catharines
oh,
that's happening at a time that
I didn't know
will
St.
tell you.
Catharines had music.
Well, it's a college town, so they've actually got a really bumping scene. It is
Get
the
'em down.
19th of March. On the 19th of March, FUNYBOHT will be playing in St. Catharines with a band called Drifter. And this guy's just got a phenomenal voice. He's like
Is he an actual drifter?
no, it's spelled all cool and digital without the
is there-
vowels.
with umlauts?
I was just going to say.
No, it's just DRFTR.
Oh, get rid
yeah.
of the consonants. Vowels.
That's popular these days. Have you noticed that? People are just dropping consonants like crazy.
Yeah, they're making it rain with the vowels. Like, get these fucking things out of here.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like
I can't-
everyone's band has to fit on a personalized license plate. I don't get it.
Dude, personalized license plates. The Hamiltoe personalized license plate.
HMLT.
Is the hashtag a character that they can put on a license plate?
Does
don't
anyone have a
think so.
hashtag on their license
I don't
plate?
think you're allowed to do it.
Say what? Why not? Maybe that's how.
Oh.
Maybe that's a new thing we can get into. If we put a hashtag on license plates, then cops don't have to necessarily look up your license plate. They just hashtag your car.
There was a hit and,
And
run.
they just see your
it was like-
selfie
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Oh, it was Billy. His hobbies include driving through school zones while heavily intoxicated.
License plate hashtag YOLO.
And here's the Snapchat of his bag of drugs.
Billy's going away for a long time.
I think it's cool when you see the people sharing the photos of kind of. There are police officers, I think, whose job it is to just scan the internet
Sneaksters.
for wrongdoings. And
So all the kids posting pictures of their drugs and.
yeah.
What is the new?
Well, do you want to play some guitar soon?
Yeah.
When you're done your coffee?
I can do that.
Yeah.
that would really help us out and make us not talk for a while.
Yeah.
I can do that.
But why don't you, before we change your setup, just mention your Facebook and Instagrams?
Why don't you do all that shit?
It's FUNYBOHT. FUNYBOHT. Type that into Google, and then you'll respectively find links to Facebook. If you're one of those weird people who actually types things into the address bar, types in websites, you can type in facebook.com/FUNYBOHT, FUNYBOHT. The more I say it,
The more real it becomes.
ingrained it is in people's minds.
It's like the phone number on a radio commercial. You just got to drill it in there.
Yeah.
Can we write Mike a jingle?
Can we write Mike a jingle?
Yeah, like a phone number jingle.
Tom, you're an
but
expert at that.
But it'll be with the, with your letters of your name.
FUNYBOHT. FUNYBOHT.
Yeah, that's something like that. That's just
Something that rhymes with T.
We can
Yeah.
work with that. Something that rhymes with T. It's the best music for you and me.
But
Right?
unfortunately, this podcast you
FUNYB.
won't see.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because it contains audio only.
There are so many strippers in here, guys. It's crazy that you went to all this trouble to have all these beautiful naked women in here, and people can't even see them.
I spared no expense.
I figured what better way to make our guests comfortable but to have the room filled with perfectly silent naked women. One of them started to make noise, and I immediately kicked her out.
Yeah.
So,
Can't have that kind of energy
right.
in here.
Can we get
Cool.
one of the naked chicks to hand you your guitar?
Yeah.
All right. Well, she's doing it.
Oh, thank you.
That's beautiful.
A lot hairier than I thought they would be.
Travel down to Nashville, it's 13 hours long. I can't wait to stretch my legs and hold you in my arms. But we made it through the night, and now the sun is burning bright. People sleeping in the streets, recovering from last night. Well, the policeman says there's a whole lot of dope smoking going on, but it's too damn hot to do a thing about it. So we're just gonna sit and say, we take a walk down Broadway, hear that Telecaster twang, spilling out onto the streets and making everybody sing. Well, if you're too damn drunk or you just don't know the words, you don't have to sing along now. All you gotta do is say,
So anyway, that's how I got into that DUI. Anyway, that was a great song you just played there, Mike. I heard every note.
This is after the songs
This
that
is-
I played.
Immediately after. I was talking about my DUI while you were playing, which I apologize is kind of rude, but I thought you should hear that.
Tell us about your lino cuts, Scott.
Oh, okay. Well, I do some arts type stuff, right? So I just found this new thing that's not new at all called linoleum cut printing.
Oh.
So basically, you just chisel into some linoleum and you create designs, and then you can print multiple posters or whatever with it. I'm probably gonna do some promotional type stuff for this. So I don't know, collector's items, man. If you see them around town.
Is there a way to do T-shirts with them?
Yeah, you can do. You can get fabric ink. That's for printing.
That's dope.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about doing that.
You got to make me some T-shirts.
All right.
Cool.
T-shirts of what?
It's got to say FUNYBOHT on it.
Oh,
And it's got
deal
to have
breaker.
something dope.
Yeah, I mean, if you want,
As
we
a
can work
picture.
something out.
Well, the good thing is you could do the text as one,
Yeah.
and then have like, you can do like two images, and you could do like two designs. Like, okay, this was this one, this, and this one, this, and this, and so many options. I'm just making more work for Scott.
Yeah. Well, what else? I
Less
got
and
nothing.
more, though.
I got nothing else going on.
Because if I need a new T-shirt design,
I feel like you should do a lino cut of Mike's face, and that should be a T-shirt.
Yeah, with your thumbs up.
I think that would be hard to do. But if you do it,
Well-
I'll even. You know what? I'll even put up the money for your carbon paper.
But just so you know, though, Scott does not work from photographs. You're gonna have to pose.
In the nude.
Is that how the Facebook banner came about?
Yes.
How'd you pose for yourself?
With a mirror.
With a mirror. Oh.
See?
they
You
You
have
think we
those
are
nowadays.
amateurs?
I was taking a bunch of nude selfies. And I was like, my face looks the best in this one. I'll go with this.
Is that? Do you think people did that back in the day? Like,
Got naked?
someone just wrote, no, with their like quill, just wrote a letter to their love, being like, "I desireth to see doth titties."
Could you describe them to me in detail in a letter back?
Yeah, so she either responds with a detailed description of her naked body, or just like poses in the mirror and draws herself, or gets a friend to do it.
I would have loved to have seen the first selfie. Like when they still had like the flash bulbs, you had to wait like 3 months for your photo to develop. Like
Yeah.
someone was probably taking selfies and fucking around dick pics.
the first dick pic.
The first dick pic. That would be interesting
See,
to
to
see.
define a dick pic, it's got to be your dick.
Right.
You know, it can't. I'm sure people have been drawing dicks on cave walls for longer than we could even imagine.
Those Easter Island heads, those are just glorified dicks. Let's be
I just think
honest.
they're buried underground. Like if you go under, if you excavate, there's a giant dick in there attached to that head.
They have bodies.
Yeah, see?
That's-
That
I
body's
just found out about that.
Everyone just found out. Nobody bothered to dig under them. They're like, oh, it's crazy that there's these heads here.
These giant heads.
Turns out they have complete bodies with huge dicks.
See.
There you go. It all comes back to the dick. This whole Hamilton thing. Hamilton.
Hamiltoe.
Hamiltoe. But
Hamildong.
Hamilton.
Hamilton for your Hamilton.
Hamiltoe Ontario. I thank you all.
Oh, man. Well, no, I found out because I was like, oh, okay. Like, I've lived here my whole life, basically. But I'm like, I don't know much about, like, the history or whatever. So the other day I was, like, looking it up. And this, I forget the guy's name. Something Hamilton. The guy's last name was Hamilton, basically.
George?
How the
Stab in the dark. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Somebody look that up. Get back to us on our Facebook page because now we have that.
Tammy, get on that.
Yeah. You fucking bitch. No back talk. But yeah, like he just, I think it was after the Civil War or something. I don't know. I feel like really
The
ignorant.
War of
I'm not just gonna-
1812.
Yeah.
That came up here.
You sound smarter when you give less specifics.
I know. I feel
If
like
you just said, like, I'm looking up a thing about the guy who founded Hamilton and this really awesome thing happened, we wouldn't be judging you right now.
yeah, but where's the fun in that? I'm trying to sound
Okay.
I'm trying to sound smarter here. Hang on, I'm gonna Google this shit because I did know it, now I don't. Talk amongst yourselves. History of
This is why we have the paper.
Yeah.
Where's
So-
the album available?
Where is it available?
You can get it from funnyboat.com, and it's $7.99. You save a penny by buying all the songs together instead of
Those 99-cent tracks add up.
Yeah. I guess those are also you're also saving it, but you're actually spending more money
To buy the album.
Oh yeah, but you get it all at once, which I think is worth the
And a
7
digital
cents.
a digital image. And
Yeah, you get the artwork that is very nice. It makes you feel like you're on vacation. It's you got to see it to believe it. FUNYBOHT.com.
Why don't you guys just keep plugging that? I'm almost there.
FUNYBOHT.com. FUNYBOHT.com.
Oh, hey, wait. Here's an interesting factoid about our fair city. The population we were founded in 1816, by the way. See? I know some stuff. Thanks, Wikipedia. So it started with 668 people in 1816.
That's a lot.
Yeah, for like a little fucking...
Where did they come from?
Well, you know what? Oh, hang on. Hamilton, from the point at which it was first colonized by settlers, has benefited from its geographical proximity to major land and water transportation routes along the Niagara Peninsula and Lake Ontario. Its strategic importance has created, by Canadian standards, a rich military history which the city preserves.
Boring.
Did I sound smart?
This is where you play some like shredding 80s guitar.
Well, you know what? I tried to bring some education to this.
No, that was I think Corktown was the first settlement, wasn't it?
Corktown, the bar?
Ye Old Tavern.
It was like a town, and that bar has been around since 18 something or other.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Let's see. Let's talk to this computer. Corktown, first established. Corktown, 1832.
is that the town or the
It was
bar?
an Irish Catholic settlement in Hamilton.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know if the bar's been around since then, but it's
Well,
an old ass
if that was
building.
founded 1832, the bar was thrown up in probably 1833.
Yeah.
When people
It was
were like,
the
"This
first
is
thing
boring."
they started building.
Yeah. Then the church.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Bars first.
Well, you need something to confess on Sunday. So now it is an educational program.
See? No one gives a shit about my history lesson.
You educated us on the things you talked about.
What were those things, Mike?
Hamilton is a town. It started a while ago with 600 people.
there was a bunch of dudes. They're all like, you should hang out here.
Let's hang out here. Did they? I guess they didn't come off of. They must have come from another settlement. So someone settled a place off the coast, I guess, and then some people were like, these guys are dicks. Let's go inland. And
I feel it played out like the Shelbyville Springfield thing, where like someone wanted to marry their cousin, the other one didn't. So obviously Hamilton's the cousin marrying
yeah.
reject cousin
Yeah.
that started its own settlement.
We're the Shelbyville.
Yeah.
Yeah. Burlington is the Springfield. I feel like they're the successful ones.
But Springfield was always like portrayed as a scumbag town too.
On the wrong side of the tracks. I feel like
Springfield is Hamilton.
yeah, I could see that because, well, just like Springfield on The Simpsons is kind of like an everywhere town, right? Like there's a little bit of everything. I feel like that's Hamilton too, right? Like you've got the beach, you've got the forest, you've got...
Well, they've got the power plant. We have DeFasco. They have the canyon or the gorge. We have the escarpment. Like there's I don't know. It just reminds me of it.
yeah.
Like we're all overweight and no one gives a shit about us. And
I feel, yeah, that's very true. I feel like there's definitely, not so much in the last few years because there's been a bit of a build up on like James Street North and Ottawa Street seeing a resurgence again, which is like, thank fucking God. But like, I feel like Hamilton definitely has its own identity when it comes to like chuds. Like there is definitely an outfit. Like you could go out for Halloween wearing like Tiger Cat track pants, some dirty white Skechers.
you just lost half of our audience right there.
Hey,
There's
I'm
an
just
audience.
saying. And like, I don't know, I just feel like there's a whole vibe that.
Well, did you see that article that came out a few years ago? And it was a worldwide poll or whatever, and however they do it. And Hamilton, Ontario was voted the worst dressed city in the world.
In the world?
In the whole world.
I'm assuming the developed world.
No.
Third world countries aren't in this.
Yeah. I just thought that was impressive.
Hamilton is the worst dressed. I think we've kicked it up a notch since then.
I never really noticed it, but if you go to Toronto for a day trip, it's like, man, everyone is dressed so nice here. Yeah. I mean, obviously not the homeless people or whatever. Well, their homeless people are probably better dressed than our homeless people.
We talk shit about ourselves a lot, too. It's like, I feel like this town would be a lot further ahead if it wasn't for how we talk about this town. Because there's a lot of great things about it, but we're like, there's some weird smells sometimes. Like that whole like north stretch of Burlington Street smells like hot dogs. For some reason,
I don't think there's
no hot dog factory.
It's a pig rendering plant.
Is it?
Yeah, I grew up down by that way.
Oh.
Not so much north end, but east. But I definitely know that smell. Coming home from a long road trip, as soon as you hit the Skyway, you're like, oh shit, I can't see past this cloud. It's starting to smell like bacon.
We got our...
Yeah.
But they're trying to rebrand as a music city, which I think is cool. It's been a music city all along. And one weird thing is, like, I've been across Canada playing music a few times, and one thing I noticed is, like, Hamilton's fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of cool places around, but in terms of how much music is happening at any given moment, there's not a lot of places like that.
It's like one of those things you take for granted. Like, we both lived in London for a while right in college.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And London's cool, but there was like so much about it. There's like, Hamilton's better. Like, there's just not as much stuff there. Like, I don't know. Like, anytime...
It's a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe. Like, it's just knowing, like you said, there's so many places to go see live music any night of the week. It's almost like too much. Like, you can't hit everything at once, right?
I think the defining element is just kind of the jadedness that comes with this saturation of talent and easy availability for music. Like, we've got Tommy Swick, Warner Brothers signed artist, playing literally a dozen shows a month. Yeah. In a bar that you can just walk into all the time. And we're like, and like other places people pay good money to see that, but we don't give a shit about anything, and everyone's talented and nobody gives a shit here.
I think you're onto something there. That's the key to this whole fucking town, is there is so much talent and no one cares. No one cares. They don't understand what they have until you go away and you realize, like, fuck, nobody is cool here.
Nobody is cool here.
But it's true. Like Tom said, we lived in London for a while. I spent some time in Kingston and Waterloo, like all these places, and it's like
England, Jamaica.
Ooh, I want to take you.
Waterloo, Ireland. That sounds like it would be a thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it would. But I'm
just they don't have the music scenes.
No, but that's the thing. It's like, oh, they have those two bars, and it's like, oh, they're just like rock clubs. It's like, oh no, they're just like techno bars. But every Friday night they play like
sports bars.
Yeah, they're like shitty sports bars. But every Friday night they play like an hour of live music.
Oh my god, this is awesome.
What? What is it?
I just ordered this thing on West Hamilton Stereo. They have drones now.
Drones? That's so strange.
I know. They're gonna be here any minute.
Cool.
Oh my god, it's here already!
Really? That was so quick.
Honey, you gotta come see this thing!
Target identified. Deployment sequence initiated.
Oh my god!
Get the fuck
received. Thank you for shopping at West Hamilton Stereo.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we're gonna wrap it up about here for episode 1. Like, I just wanna say that this is our first episode. We got some kinks to work out, clearly, but I know Tom and I both really appreciate you making the trip up here and at least helping us out with this first episode. Hopefully, many more to come after this.
It's my pleasure.
Awesome. Tom?
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. All right, well,
cool.
You know what they say, man. Get the hell out.
That train a coming, it's rolling round the bend. And I ain't seen that sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. Well, I hear that whistle blowing on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, said always be a good boy and don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Well, I hear that train a coming, I hang my head and there's rich folks eating in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. But those people keep moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they freed me from this prison, that railroad train was mine. I bet I'll move a little, I'm falling on down the line. Well, far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle, I'd let that lonesome whistle, I let that lonesome whistle blow my blues up.